All right. Um, this video is going to be talking about how I got my contractor's license, what I had to do to get my general contractor's license, and just the overall process and my experience in getting a general contractor license. This is also going to be the first video of this new channel where pretty much anything to do with construction and real estate will be on this channel. Some lifestyle stuff as well as it relates to, just basically going through um, just my overall process. There's a lot I've done since then, and I'm gonna make videos on those as well, and I'm gonna post those videos later on. But to start it off, how do I get my how do you get your general contractor's license, specifically in the state of Florida, because each state has their own rules and regulations. So as you can see here, these are all the books that you will need for your exam for your general contractor's license. There are 3 exams. One is, I'm sorry, the longest one is 6 hours. Up here, I think it's 125. 5 of them are pilot questions, and you have 6 hours to complete them. There are no breaks. If you do need a break, the time still keeps going down. So the other two, they're 60 questions each, and they're 4 hours each. And so, yeah, so the first exam is the business and finance. I'll kind of identify which books you need for those. The second one, and it doesn't have to be in any order, is the contractor admin, and then you have the project management exam. So these are all the books that you'll need for each of the exams combined. You won't need all of them for all of the exams, but there are some main ones that you'll need, for all 3, or at least for 2 of them. It's gonna be this one here at the bottom. Let me just, wow, these things are heavy. All right. So this is your main bread and butter, right? So you definitely need this for the business and finance exam. This is the longest. This one is with the longest exam. It's about 6 hours, 120 something questions. I'll fact check myself after, but yeah, this is it. So with this book, it's the main book, but with this book, you'll see here I have a bunch of tabs, right? A bunch of tabs. And throughout this book, you're probably not going to see it, but there's going to be a bunch of highlights, right? So there are going to be a bunch of highlights here that you'll have to do. This is the AIA document, or AIA documents, I should say. So you have the 201, the 401, and 701. So there's 3 of them. You can put all 3 of these in a binder when you go to take the exam, with your tabs as well. If you don't want to put them in a binder, that's up to you, but it makes it just easier to kind of navigate through this as you're taking the exam. And then you have your different existing building, accessibility, environment, energy, and residential building codes and stuff like that. So you would want to bring this to your business and finance exam. I think all of them, you may have one question in maybe these 2, and then a few questions in the building and residential. But it is important just to make sure you have all of those. The second most important book for the business and finance is going to be your Builder's Guide to Accounting. By the time this video is released, you'll probably still need the same exact book. Again, tabs all over. There are highlights here as well in this book. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but quite a few highlights in the, yeah, you will also need, let me just take a look here. All right, cool. All right. So that's the business and finance. Once you go to, and I do recommend going to like a exam prep school, or like just a school in general that will teach you and kind of train you to learn about taking this exam, because it is very involved and it is specific to really, it is knowledge about the industry, but really and truly, if you study these books how you're supposed to and learn the books where to find the information that you're asking on the exam, that they're asking on the exams, then you should be okay, right? These are all three exams are open book exams. So, and most people think that, okay, great, that's going to be simple. I'll just da 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 da, right? But the information is so specific and you have to find the specific pages for those exams. So really, the more and more time you spend with these books, the better position you'll put yourself in. You should be tabbing your own books, right? Especially this, you should be tabbing and highlighting your own books. I do recommend that. I did it for myself. I do recommend that because, again, as you're going through and you're tabbing these, right, and highlighting these, the sections and questions and paragraphs and stuff like that, you kind of learn where to find the information. So I don't recommend buying these pre-tabbed and pre-highlighted unless, I don't know, unless you're just that good. I wasn't that good, so it helped me to learn the book as I'm going through my prep courses. Contractor exam, you will need your contractor manual, and then you also need your AIA documents. You will need your building and residential code books. Well, pretty much all these building code books. You will also need your energy efficient building construction in Florida by the University of Florida. You will also need your OSHA 1929 book. You will not need your Builder's Guide to Accounting. So really, this book is only for the first exam, the big exam, the one that's 6 hours. So you won't ever need that again after you pass the project management exam. You will need the same books, same OSHA books, same, well, this one is new, but the BCIS book as well. You will need this for both your exam, contractor admin and project management. How many questions are each book for each exam? I can't tell you that. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't remember either. I'm recording this in May or June. I took my last exam in January of this year. So I kind of like forgot all the specific things. I should have did this video earlier, but I just never had the time or to set up doing a bunch of other things. So I do just wanted to kind of go through this. There are a few more books that you will get, and I'll get into all of the specifics and logistics of that. The reinforced bars, the gypsum panel, which is basically drywall, the Walker's building estimator, right? Still in plastic, never needed it. Design control of concrete mixture, still in plastic, never needed it. But you will get this with your package. So you get your books from, or I got my books from Florida Gold Coast. They sell the whole package with the tabs, the highlights. They don't come pre-tab. You can order them pre-tab, but they sell the tabs. But once you order the book package, it'll come with literally all these books that you see here in a big box. I think I paid maybe $2,000 for the entire like book sets and tabs and stuff like that. Also with your AIA documents. Now, when it comes to, okay, where did I go to learn how to study and prepare for these exams? I went to Contractor Prep School. It is in Margate, Florida. There is an online portion, and there is a portion where you can go in person for these seminars, where I think there's honestly like from like 4 to like 7 hours long, right? But it's a lot of good information, right? You have people there that have taken the exams before. You have people that are on different exams, and they can kind of give you input and feedback to like the exams that you're taking currently. So I do think it would be good to, at least go to one of those seminars if you do decide to use them. My instructor was Gabriel. He was amazing, in my opinion. And he helped a lot with like just getting over the hump understanding what to expect on these exams, because it's not unpredictable, but you're never prepared until you really go in there. Quite a shocker. I did fail. So there's 3 exams, right? I took them about 6 or 7 times in total. I took the exams. Um, the building and the business and finance, the first big one, right? For 6 hours, I failed that the first time, right? And then I passed the second time. Um, I think failing helped me realize, like, you know, that I really needed to lock in and kind of take the exam more seriously. So from failing, I kind of learned what I needed to do better, and I understood how to navigate the book better, if that makes sense. A lot of people pass on their first tries. Kudos to those people. I just wasn't that focused because, again, I didn't know why I was. The second exam, contractor admin exam, I passed it on the first time. By the way, the first exam, I think I got like an 88, or yeah, high 80s. I got like an 88, 89 or something like that. And they say usually when you get a above 70% on your first exams, the contractor admin is usually easier. And that's because it uses most of the same books from your first exam. And so it's encouraged that you take that exam as soon as possible after the business and finance exam. Again, you don't have to take these in order, but I highly recommend you do the business, finance, contractor, admin, and then project management. When you take the exams, it kind of makes a lot of sense if one leads into the other. But again, up to you on what you feel comfortable with. The project management exam was the last one that I took, and I failed that one twice before I passed on the third try. The project management was probably the hardest one, just because of I think there were a lot more books and a lot more references included in that exam, and so your first 2 exams you're not really using these books too much, right? And then you're definitely not using this too much. And the one that really got me was this book, the project management exam, right? So if you don't do anything for your project management exam, learn this book, because this is where 60% of my questions came from. 60, we're gonna say 68, 67% of my exams for the project management exam came from. And this book is tough. Like, it's made by Pearson VUE, and I have my theories on why this one was so hard, but lock in for your project management exam this book. If you don't take anything away from this video, lock in with this book for your project management exam, and lock in with your contractor admin, your contractor manual book for your exam as well. And that should go without saying, right? Because it's the big one, it's the big exam. Okay, so I've kind of gone over taking the exam, right? So cool, taking the exam is one part of becoming the general contractor, right? You still need experience. You still need to show that you are financially responsible. I think sometimes they'll check your credit score or something like that. But you can't take a 14-hour course to kind of like educate yourself, and that will qualify you. You need to know that you're a good character of moral standings, meaning you don't have any crazy criminal background or something like that. I think, you know, it's a very small list of things that you could have done that would like disqualify you in general. I don't know what that list is off the top of my head, but you can look that up. All right, how did I get into general contracting? So my uncle, he is a general contractor in the state of New York, right? Which I used to go to frequently, right? I would say that I kind of grew up in New York, half New York, half Florida. So I would be around him a lot. I would be working on these sites without kind of knowing what I, that I was going to eventually do. It was kind of just fun to me. I was young, and I got to like, work out and, just actually do stuff, build houses, learn, specific things and details about architecture and stuff like that. He approached me initially with like, hey, I want to do something in Florida for his company, but he wasn't going to do the exam again. And he was like, hey, you should do the exam. First time he told me, I was about 25. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, that's not where I saw myself. So I was in IT or computer or project management at the time. I don't know by the time this video comes out. And I was like, no, I'm not. That's construction. Like, what? I don't know really anything about construction in that way. A few years later, we had a conversation again, and I really sat down with him. And I was like, the type of quality of life, right? There's a stigma with general contracting and being a contractor and doing construction. There's a stigma that I also kind of like fell into the trap of. And when I spoke with him, like I understood more of the quality of life and just kind of like the aspect of business and contracting. I was like very fascinated because I've always been fascinated with project management, really, without really knowing it. And that's, really, that's what I do currently, what I was doing prior before general contracting and everything. So, and I would also do like the organizational pieces and admin pieces for his business as well. So I got really into that. And I was like, I think this would be cool, like doing this, like where I live here in South Florida. So I was like, I approached him again. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And of course, he encouraged it, and yeah, I decided that that's kind of like where I want to go with the another turn in my career. That plan of him coming down here kind of changed, right? Why, I don't really know, but nonetheless, I'm kind of in the process of establishing my own company, right? So basically, getting my own jobs, bidding my own jobs, working with my different general contractors, right? My experience specifically, I don't think is adequate enough for me to go out there and swing some hammers. I'm pretty handy, right? But when it comes to like the skilled trades, there are more people that are way more equipped and skilled to do a lot of the things that entails with construction, right? My expertise lies within the management of either the business or management of the projects, right? Management of the company as a whole, basically orchestrating and executing, right? So that's my expertise. The skill of actually um, framing, right? I mean, I can do these things, but I am not the expert in it, right? And when it comes to how I want my business to operate, I want the highest quality. So I want the best people, right? And so even now I am still kind of looking for those skilled people, right? So if you're watching this video and you have if you're a skilled tradesman, right? Electrical, plumbing, carpentry, taping, right? Drywall, right? Whatever it is, um, hit me up. Let me know, and then we can work together. Also, I'm looking for licensed electricians and plumbers, right? So if you have that background as well, just let me know. I'm basically trying to build out my team. I do have some people already, right? I am working with some subcontractors right now, right? But the goal is to like grow, right? And so obviously to do that, you're gonna need more people and more reliable people. That's basically everything, right? I feel like there are a lot of things that I missed, right? But I wanted to stick to the important parts. As this YouTube channel grows, right, there will be more that you will hear from me in regards to my process, my journeys, my steps, right? You could also reach out to me. I'm gonna put my Instagram in here, or I think YouTube introduced DMing people now. I don't know. Well, or you can comment, right? Reach out to me, whatever it is, right? Um, I'm starting up my company now, so if you want to look them up, that's Blueprint Theory Construction. Again, licensed and insured in Florida. So that's kind of like my project right now that I'm working on establishing. So yeah, this video, I really, the goal of this video was to basically, you know, let you guys know the process that I went through, right? Personally, and if you take anything from that personally to help yourself, if you're trying to get your general contractor, if you're just, interested in construction in general, right? Hopefully this video provided some insight. And if you guys, subscribe, like this video, right? Help me to continue to grow this channel and basically dive more into my other ventures, right? So I recently bought a rental property that was causing me massive stress, right? Which is another reason why I couldn't make this video, because I was like focused on that. So I did some renovations to that as well, which I'm gonna add to this channel. So make sure you subscribe to follow that process, right? So really anything regarding real estate and construction, right? That will be the focus of this channel. So go ahead and subscribe so we can go ahead and grow this channel and create a community of people that are into construction that can share, post feedback and also help me as well, because you guys have been doing your specific, trades for a specific amount of time, and I always want to learn. So again, if you guys have any questions in regards to taking your exams, any input, feedback, what I suggest, what I recommend, right? I'm more than happy to speak with you guys, right? If it gets past like, just a DM, right? I'm open to having a conversation as well, because this was not as easy as I thought it would have been. Now, it's not hard. You just have to really dedicate yourself and have discipline. A part I didn't mention in the video, and I'm going to end after this, right? I hope this video isn't too long. How did I study? I spent 1 hour a day studying the books that I needed for the exam. So when you go through to the contractor prep school, right, or if you want me to tell you like which ones it is for what exam specifically, offline, I studied the books that I knew were going to be the majority of the exams for my upcoming exams for 1 hour every day leading up to the exams, right? And the timeline for that is very skewed, so I don't want to get into that. But 1 hour a day, spend some time with your books, and I think you will put yourself in a very good position to pass your exams and then take the next step, right? Again, appreciate